Welcome. Saints Row. Once written off as a mere GTA clone, it evolved to be its own wonderful, weird and wacky crazy thing. And I think none of it is summed up better than in my favourite game in the series, Saints Row the Third. So that's the one I want to talk about. I actually got nostalgic to play this game after buying and putting a good few hours into Saints Row the 2022 release. It's not as bad as everybody said, but compared to 3 and 4, it is just not there. Now, the fourth one I know is well loved and I like it too. I've not got anything bad to say about it, but the third one is just my favourite. I find it's still wacky and crazy with things like the shark gun and, well, the missions themselves, but it's grounded just enough for me before going fully off the edge with the fourth entry. But both are good fun and you can't go wrong. I've actually got this one on the Nintendo Switch. You can get it for around £10 or even less if it's on sale, which it is pretty regularly, as is the fourth one. And you get the full package version, so you get some of the extras as well. Don't ask me exactly what they are, because I'm not sure. Maybe you do. Let me know in the comments. The game opens with a bank robbery, but unfortunately all doesn't go to plan. Now, I don't want to spoil the story for you in case you've not played the game, so I won't say any more about that, other than things go completely skew with, and you end up in a new location. We are now in Steelport, a new city, a new place to conquer. As you can imagine, there's going to be resistance, but you are more than up to the job, as this takes place approximately 3 years after the end of Saints Row 2, and you're now not just a gang, but part of a major media corporation. And you've got everything going from energy drinks to movies. Remember movies, that plays a part. Fortunately, you're not in Steelport alone. You've got some of your allies with you that you'll be familiar with if you've played the earlier entries. And you find that there are 3 gangs that seem to run the city. So, gotta take them out, gotta take over their areas. As you go through, you can buy various businesses, from Friendly Fire, the gun shop, which is always handy to get yourself some ammo and new weapons from. You can also take over by buying things like clothing shops, and as you progress throughout the story, you'll have more cribs which you can use as HQs as you go throughout the game. The more you take over an area by buying things up or taking out the competition with a gun, then the more income you'll generate, which enables you to buy toys like guns and ammo, and also upgrades for your character. Speaking of, the level of customisation here is awesome, really impressive. Bearing in mind that the game originally came out, I think it was 2011, or around that time anyway. This is admittedly a souped up version, being the full package, but how much they put into it so you could really make it your own person, with your own style, your upgrades and things like that. Bravo! It would be very difficult, I feel, to recreate the same character twice, in looks at least. Obviously when it comes to the upgrades, it depends if you want to keep playing until you unlock them all. Another nice touch is, you unlock people you can call, be it because you want a helicopter or a car delivering, or you want a couple of people to come and give you some backup when you're fighting the baddies and fight for you. Really clever, I like that, and I do use it, although it's not available on every single mission for obvious reasons. And speaking of the missions, they're an absolute hoot, and there's just the right level of wackiness to accompany it. Whether you're making a sci-fi movie with a psychopathic director, taking on the leader of a Mexican wrestler-themed gang, whether you're in a helicopter, taking out the competition with RPGs and sniper rifles, pursuing a clone of one of your best mates that's gone completely bonkers, and so much more. You cannot fail to have fun playing this, and that's just the main missions. As with many open world games, a lot of joy can be found in the side missions, and these are all over the place, usually marked by a blue marker, or you can find some of them in your cell phone, such as assassinations, vehicles to steal, that sort of thing. Don't miss out on them. As much as the main missions are absolutely brilliant and not in any way serious, the side missions go even more bananas, whether you're playing some sort of dystopian game where it's last man standing wins, and yes, you do have to shoot the competition, it is literally last man standing or breathing, or you're just driving a tank round trying to do as much destruction as humanly possible. It's all a riot. The city itself isn't huge, Not by current gen standards of open worlds, but it's big enough. You don't always need a massive sprawling open world which takes 10 minutes to go from one end of to the other, and if you didn't have fast travel you could never get through the game, as long as it's done well, and this genuinely is. And obviously you've got many methods of traversal, be it from cars, motorbikes, helicopters, alien spacecraft, jets. You can find a lot of ways to get around, and it's all good fun. And you've always got that handy dandy parachute as well, so feel free to bail out anytime you like. There's even challenges with base jumping, see if you can hit the target. The gunplay, as it should be, is an absolute highlight. Really good fun. Even if you're just beating people up with your fists. And I actually just discovered when I was capturing this footage, but it was after I stopped recording, that if you run at somebody with just your fists equipped and press the button at the right time to attack, you do some sort of WWE wrestling move, which just goes with a sense of humour. It's good fun. I had a great time just for 10 minutes going around DDTing people and suplexing them and dropping an elbow. As with any good open world game, you can approach missions your own way to a degree. Some are a bit more linear than others, but none of it feels forced in any way, shape or form. I absolutely adore getting to know the characters because they're all quirky and fun, and some of them you actually get to really quite like because they just make you laugh. And there's even 2 possible endings, and the game looks after you because towards the end of it, no spoilers here, you get to make a choice which will determine which way the ending goes. But once you've completed it, it gives you the option to then go back, make the other choice, and play those missions as well, and they're both very different, so I strongly recommend playing them both because it's all just tremendous fun. If you're looking for an open world game that delivers non-stop action, mixed up with some good laughs, and is just absolutely brilliant, Saints Row the Third is a game you can't go wrong with. And indeed, the 4th is also worth its time, but that's an upcoming video. Thank you very much for your time. I always really appreciate it when people take the time to watch my videos. If you want to press like or even subscribe, please don't fight the urge because it helps me out an absolute ton. I'll see you in the next video. I'm off to go and buy myself a purple shirt.